Hi, welcome back. I am so glad to see you here. I am back posting approximately weekly videos on YouTube. And since the inception of my podcast, I'm focusing mostly on gentle mental health topics here lately. And today's topic is mindfulness. It's been around for a little bit of history. It grew out of Eastern spiritualism being adapted and adapted to fit a Western understanding, a Western acceptance of meditation practices and things like that. So that was happening in the 1970s. I don't know if you ever heard of a book called Wherever You Go, There You Are. It's by John Kabat-Zinn. And that book introduced masses of people to meditation and mindfulness. And a lot of other people's work sort of stood on his shoulders to launch their own philosophies of mindfulness. In the 1990s, mindfulness was becoming very popular. It was all the hot rage. I started teaching meditation, designing my own courses in 1997. And it was very much the right place, the right time, the right topic. People were hungry for that sort of information. And then in the 2000s, it just became huge, like prevalent in the vernacular. And because the benefits of it are valid, it's been vetted by so many, legitimate scientific studies and like that mindfulness has infiltrated medical institutions and trainings, the fitness industry, and even corporate trainings, and also existing spiritual circles. So, yay. Mindfulness. Oh, and I'm following the no, show, and grow model that I do for all of these topics, the gentle mental health topics. So the definition of mindfulness is it is a psychological practice that involves paying attention to the present moment with a non-judgmental awareness. What does non-judgmental awareness mean? It means you are not labeling things as good or bad, happy or sad. Things just are what they are. And mindfulness is a state of being mindful. So mindfulness is a practice to be in. I'm kind of rushing ahead here. It's such a great topic for me. I'm just really thrilled to be sharing this again. It's just my wheelhouse completely, 100%. To show mindfulness, you have a practice of being mindful. Focus on the breath without judgment. So I find the breath to be a very easy place to start mindfulness practice because you have to breathe. The breath is constant. We don't have to pay attention to it to make it happen. And so if you just pay attention to your breath going in and out, without labeling it, it's a great place to start. a practice of non-judgment. So if you are judgmentally regarding your breath, you would breathe in and out. In is like, oh, that's shallow, that's bad. And out is like, oh, I coughed, that's bad. Or good, I can breathe nice and deep, and that's good. That is also a judgment. So just be with it, however it is, with no judgment. I love that. Focus on physical sensations with no judgment. Like sitting in a chair. I can feel the chair beneath my legs. I can feel the armrest under my elbow. It suddenly makes me want to sit up a little straighter. I can feel the sneakers on my feet. I can feel how one is laced tighter than the other one. And it's not uncomfortable, but it's just something that I can notice. Walking is a great thing to do when developing a mindfulness practice in movement. So you can be mindful when you're doing anything, but we're just starting with some very simple things. And being mindful makes everything more simple because you are just paying attention to what is going on. You're not thinking about where you came from, and you're not thinking about where you're going later today. You're just in the moment. I used to love grocery shopping mindfully, picking up the produce and like smelling it, being really in the moment with ingredients before I ever cook them. And grocery shopping is one of the banes of my existence. It is not something that I intrinsically enjoy. So having a mindfulness practice made it so much more tolerable. And dare I say, I enjoyed it a little bit here and there. So you can exercise mindfully, whatever kind of exercise you want. Swimming is a great mindfulness practice. Just observing the sensation of the water and how your body feels in that like gentle resistance that the water gives. Developing mindfulness is a gradual process that requires regular dedication. So just like anything else that you want, any other sort of mental muscle that you want to develop, you can do the same thing with developing mindfulness. Be intentional, be deliberate, be on purpose, be with purpose when you are developing your mindfulness. And your practice is on its way with regular practice, with regular dedicated practice. Your mindfulness practice becomes a routine. And then we bump over onto the growing mindfulness. We did the knowing, the history, what its definition is. We did the showing. Really good, simple examples of places to start your mindfulness showing up in your life. And now we're on growing. Have a routine that consists of simple exercises. Use your everyday opportunities, like I mentioned, with breathing, walking, eating. Honor your mindfulness practice. Make sure distractions are at a minimum when you're engaging with mindfulness. And like I said, it's just a way to honor the practice that you're in, just like you would honor, hey, today's my day off. Don't call me. You honor your self-care space, honor your mindfulness, because that is also self-care. Use an app if you want guided imagery. There's a bunch of those around now. Regular mindfulness practice, i.e. routines, helps build your everyday attentiveness. So that means it helps your ability, it grows your ability to pay attention. And that is absolutely true. Relaxing the body, if we, I think the benefits of relaxation are a multitude. But relaxing the body helps reduce stress and improves mental focus. So we're back to improving mental capacity. Isn't that cool? Consistency in your routine leads to increased emotional regulation. So that means you don't fly off the handle at every little thing, or you don't burst into tears when you may be moved emotionally, but I'm talking about like, outbursts, erratic outbursts. And so consistency in your routine leads to increased emotional regulation and also an increase in your well-being. So it's really like just a huge benefit to adopt some practices. Try it out. It does not have to be, you don't have to approach it with an iron fist kind of thing. Mindfulness. I will also take this opportunity to mention my podcast, which I mentioned at the top of the episode here. My podcast is called A Bipolar Storm, because I am the bipolar storm. My name is Amy Storm, and I have ongoing symptoms of bipolar 1, like manic depression, etc. And I also have severe PTSD, and I am on a healing journey with all of that. And so I'm sharing some deeply personal stories, and also, I say traumas. I openly share the traumas and the triumphs. And there's no more suffering in silence. So if that seems like something you're interested in listening to, the name of the podcast is A Bipolar Storm. And it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Amazon, it's on iHeart, and it's on Spotify. So look it up, please, if that interests you. And I hope it does. All right. Thank you for being here again. And I will see you soon for something else.